The movie's events occur in the not-too-distant future. The years of a person's life can be donated to anyone whose DNA is compatible with theirs through a biotech business named Aeon. They receive a sizable payment in return for the years provided. The goal of Aeon's time donation managers is to persuade potential donors to devote their entire lives if they are a good match for a recipient who both needs and can afford the donation. Max Toma is one of Aeon's donation managers, and he excels at his work to the point where he wins Employee of the Year. The CEO of Aeon, Sophie Thyssen, wants to go farther and find a means to entirely manage aging and death, but the Atom Group is working to stop her because Aeon views people's lives as a commodity. Additionally, time donations support inequality. They are exclusive to the wealthy. The impoverished, who reside in slums and refugee camps and give their lifetimes in the hopes of bettering their lives, die young while the wealthy live longer. People who are given lifetimes by others are executed by the Atom Group. Max profits from the system, thus he does not see any issues with it. He enjoys his joyful marriage to Elena, and the two of them now want to start a family. However, when their apartment burns down, their entire world is turned upside down. The insurance company will not cover the damages because it is thought that negligence led to the fire. The loan Max and Elena took to purchase their opulent apartment is still unpaid for, and they lose everything else in the fire. Since they don't have any money, the bank will demand security in lieu of the mortgage they owe. When they took out the loan, Elena put up 40 years of her life as collateral, which Max subsequently learns. In order to stop Elena from donating all of her 40 years, Max is prepared to donate portion of his lifetime. However, as his match recently passed away, he is unable to donate his entire lifetime. Max then asks Sophie for assistance, but she declines. Elena has had 40 years of her life violently ripped from her, and Max learns that Sophie is the one who received those years. Every day, Elena becomes older more quickly. She was expecting a child at the time of the donation, but she has since miscarried. Elena is unsure if Max is with her out of love or out of sympathy for her, but he still cares about her and wants to stay with her. Considering that Max is still young and she is considerably older, she thinks they cannot be together any longer. Elena then leaves Max, though, will not give up. He learns that there are further unlawful ways to obtain lifetime donations. To reclaim the years Sophie stole from Elena, he intends to capture Sophie. After successfully abducting Sophie, he persuades Elena to leave Germany with him. He's willing to take any danger because he thinks their lives are already over. Novak, the new chief of operations for Aeon in Berlin, and Kaya, Sophie's devoted bodyguard, use cutting-edge technology to monitor Max. They learn that Sophie is traveling to Lithuania with Max and Elena. They are unable to stop Max and Elena because Max always finds a way to escape difficult circumstances, even if it means endangering innocent bystanders. When the victim they abducted finally had a chance to speak, she admits that she is Marie, Sophie's daughter, rather than Sophie. Since Sophie stole 40 years from Elena's life and got younger, it is difficult to know whether Marie is telling the truth when she says that she looks a lot like Sophie. Nobody is aware of Marie because Sophie took care to keep her hidden from view. Max won't take her word for it. He keeps waiting for Dr. Berg, who will execute the treatment on Elena and Marie against the law, to get in touch with him. Elena begins to have second thoughts about the entire situation since if Marie is telling the truth, they would be robbing a helpless woman. Marie tries to flee, but Elena finally tracks her down. She then notes that Marie does not have surgical scars, proving that Marie is the real person and not Sophie, but Max is still resistant to the information. The Atom Group locates Max and Elena that evening, but Kaya and Novak arrive at the couple first. Elena is the only match that Sophie has ever discovered, says Lilith, the head of the Atom Group. Her donation manager, Max, was intended to persuade her to give. Instead, he developed feelings for her and wed her. Sophie devised a scheme to get Elena to devote her entire life. Only after Elena pledged her entire lifespan as security did the bank agree to loan Max and Elena the money they needed to purchase the condo, which was too pricey for the two of them to afford. To stop Max from donating some of his years when Sophie needed them, She set fire to their flat and had Max's match killed. Lilith thinks that Max and Elena are treating Marie in the same way as Sophie treated them. Elena refuses to kill Marie despite being forced to do so by the woman. Lilith points out that while individuals have no problem enabling doctors to end lives on their behalf, they become pacifists when forced to take lives themselves. In order to find Sophie, the one who initiated all of this, Lilith will now utilize Max and Elena. Unaware that it is a trap, Kaya and Novak arrive at the location where Marie, Max, and Elena were abducted by the Atom group with a large group of armed men. Max is forced to follow Lilith's instructions because Elena and Marie are being held hostage by her group. Max insists on speaking with Sophie directly. He persuades Sophie to accompany him inside when he gets out of the car so they may visit Marie. Kaya inquires last minute about Max's knowledge of Sophie's presence with them. She recognizes it's a trap when Max doesn't respond. Novak apparently works for the Atom group. When the group's attempt to abduct Sophie fails, he makes an attempt to kill her. He kills Sophie with a shot before Kaya kills him. As a result, a shootout breaks out between Kaya's crew and the Atom group, and Lilith is fatally wounded. Max is able to return within the structure when shots are being exchanged between the two sides. To get to Elena and Marie, he must engage in combat. Marie refuses to accompany him as he makes an attempt to flee with the two women. She even pulls the trigger as she points a gun towards Elena. But there are no bullets in the rifle. Marie experiences pain from Elena till she passes out. Then, Max, Elena, and Marie flee together. This time, Max is the one who is hesitant to proceed with the gift, whilst Elena is determined to do everything it takes to get her lifetime back. Max argues that Marie is not the one who stole from Elena because she is innocent. Elena wants her lifetime back while knowing that Marie won't be able to obtain her years back from her mother since Sophie is now deceased because Marie is Sophie's daughter and hence has Elena's DNA. Elena urges Max to leave after he explains to her that he cannot harm Marie in this way. If he does not listen, she says she will kill herself. Max is left with no alternative except to watch helplessly as Elena and Marie escape. Elena brings Marie to Dr. Berg, where she witnesses her fight and scream in a similar way to how she did when her life was abruptly ripped from her. Following the procedure, Elena gains 40 years of Marie's life. Elena witnesses the illegal taking of refugee children's lives by bringing them to Dr. Berg and flees the scene as quickly as she can. A hurt Marie is discovered wandering the road alone as Max arrives at a Lithuanian refugee camp. Sophie was wearing a bulletproof jacket when Novak shot her, thus it turns out she did not die. Marie is delivered to her mom. Kaya leaves her employment because she no longer wants to perform Sophie's dirty work now that she is safe. Marie begins aging quickly as a result of Elena taking away 40 years of her life. Sophie and Marie are a match, but Sophie won't give her daughter 40 years. Marie is forced to bear the cost of her mother's transgressions. Later, Max spots Elena and another man on a beach. She is pregnant and young once more. Max, though, has turned into a vigilante. He wants to put a stop to the unfairness caused by lifetime donations. He is a member of the Atom group.